Right, so obviously thinking of the brand and target audience, obviously the ones you said were like 55 more the ones, but the more you could, like the more obviously range groups you could spread on, the more like you're likely for them to buy it. So I was kind of thinking obviously trying to target at someone maybe slightly younger, and so I was thinking maybe 25-year-olds to maybe like about 35. The reason for that is thinking when you sort of leave home you're about like what, 24, 25, and then you kind of don't see your parents that often. So I was thinking this product could be the one that brings the family together, so like maybe after uni when you left, and every like weekend you can come in and enjoy the Saucy Salsa. So I was thinking more down that route. So the younger, obviously, because it's like a healthy product, we aiming at like people that are like probably trying to look after themselves, and obviously it's kind of more expensive product, so you kind of got the money obviously to buy stuff and you want to look after yourself and that so yeah, so the where the idea come from was the sensations. I eating quite a lot, and I kind of really like the idea of how the peppers, like it kind of all over the store. It kind of reminds me of a flavour of the powder of the chili when you're cooking and adding it. So so I thought I'll go down that route and maybe take what's there, like the vegetables and stuff, and try and maybe work something with them. So the first one I've done, the prototype, was something like this. I used the black. It's not like, it was kind of the first idea.
So that would take two, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just have chili and garlic.
Yeah, that was for the two.
Yeah.
I kind of done there, so that was the one I was doing, and I kind of realised that I was kind of really going the same route, so it was kind of like copying kind of thing, like I didn't really add nothing to it. But then thinking of a dip and thinking like using crisps and stuff like that, so I thought maybe try and, instead of like distorting it like a little thing, maybe trying to use like sort of like Doritos or something that's shape of a crisp.
Yeah,
but instead of the just obviously being plain, maybe use the colours of the vegetables to put in the pack, so it kind of reminds you of what vegetables is on the packet. And I'll go back to that slide. But I also kind of like things really minimal and stuff. I don't like when there's too much going on. I always kind of go back to less is more. So I was thinking shapes, kind of, it's not really obvious straight away, but then if you kind of look at the product what it is, it kind of like reminds you of the colours of the vegetables and like what you would use it to have the sauce with. So I thought go back to maybe use more typography rather than it's kind of not obviously what David said, that I didn't use the woman and stuff like that. But
this is what this is all about, isn't it? This is what this is about.
yeah,
so
it kind of went the other way. I kind of like really like typography and stuff, and so I kind of went down my way. But obviously
that's
going to have
probably
to.
going to be what you're all going to have to face, isn't it?
Yeah.
As David was saying, as designers, you want to go down your way, but then you've got to fit to
Yeah.
the company or whoever it is that you're doing. So this is quite a good steep learning curve for all of you as well as for me.
Yeah, so it's kind of went down my way using typography and the shapes, making more like kind of elegant and like more upmarket. And I was thinking, kind of need something to sort of stand out and stuff. So that's why it kind of came up with like a word like boom. Like, I don't know, I was thinking like, because obviously it's a really exciting product and you want it to be like, for me it kind of reminds me of like an explosion, like the sensation one, it kind of reminds me when the chilies blew up. So I'm thinking when you eat like the sauce and stuff, it kind of blows up in your mouth and stuff.
Oh,
and obviously in Spain it's all like dancing and it's really flair.
Some of the feedback was taste explosion. Taste explosion. Some of the people have actually used those words too.
Yeah.
It's like a taste explosion.
And that's what it kind of reminds me of, like thinking like it kind of explodes and you kind of feel like, I don't know, dancing, like the music and that sort of, so that's sort of the direction I wanted to go, and that what kind of inspired my design.
David said about the word sensation, didn't he? I was just thinking we could use this, because he also said sensational taste explosion. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Sensational taste explosion.
I obviously didn't have much, well I did have much time, but like you said about the words, boom is kind of like what I was thinking, like 18, but maybe choose different words or if obviously you have more time, think about different phrases and stuff. I was thinking maybe each package could have like sort of like a word that would associate it with. So you don't necessarily see the packet and stuff, but once you know the word, you kind of know what it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so that's sort of how it inspired and how I got to.
We were sat yesterday trying to think of Spanish words, and all I could think of was rude words.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
So we kind of got caramba.
Oh yeah, caramba.
Things
Actually,
like that.
caramba's a good one.
Yeah,
Caramba is a very good
yeah,
one.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So there's opportunity to play on that.
Yes, yeah.
It's
Caramba's
tricky
fantastic.
to bring the typography, which is what
Yeah.
Igor's really into, these kind of
Yes. Yeah.
more geometric things,
Yes. Yeah.
and to meet this brand.
Yeah.
But I still think that there's potential for that
To go together.
to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just needs more of the traditional textures on there, more of the spots on there. You know, remember what's on the jars and try to match it a bit more. But there's no reason why you can't
Came
have
out
a
a
word.
little bit too clean rather than what it was in the thing. But that's one of the things I was thinking. I was thinking like me and Dan were talking about yesterday. The little Dorito shape, like, or
Yeah.
just like flavour shapes. There could
Yeah.
be, if you put a bit of texture on it, like maybe a texture of a garlic or a pepper or whatever it is, it might it'll be a little bit more obvious to people, and it'll give it like slightly more not clean look, like which obviously the way I went for. The unique selling point, I didn't do it. Like, I obviously didn't, but I was thinking, as this kind of like a gift package, I was thinking like one of the best ideas, like when we were eating it. It was being dropped everywhere, like it went everywhere, and I was thinking, if you put like a napkin in there with like anything on there saying like, I don't know, just a little design or something from
That's
like
a
La Saucy
fantastic
Salsa,
idea. Yeah.
like the napkin, I don't feel like, I didn't research it, I still need to do it, but if a napkin, maybe you could just get like a black and white like writing it or a design, and you put it in there, it kind of leaves you with a feeling that like, you could keep the napkin, you maybe use it at the table, and obviously if you like eating it on the way, you drop it, you could use it straight away. It kind of gives it, like it brings the value to the product, I was thinking, and it kind of like, you still remember that, oh, you get a napkin with that sauce, whether you just bought it and then you just like throw away.
Yeah.
So I was thinking napkin might be the cheapest solution to leave people with wanting to come back more, and every napkin could be like different designer saying, like, obviously, I don't know, I still have to like...
Now you'd have to use the girls, wouldn't you? You'd have to use the bright colours on thinking about
Yeah,
what
so
they
napkin
use
could be different
Yeah,
colours,
yeah.
or could be like different like vegetables.
The napkins that I use when I'm out and about, I use bright red, I use bright yellow, I use bright green napkins.
I'm sure you can get them like printed with polka dots
Yes,
on,
you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could,
and all of
yeah.
those kind of things.
Yeah.
Or like the pattern in the background.
Yes, yeah.
We did discuss kind of having really celebratory like phrases and texts on the napkins, and like printing a range of 10 different ones, so they might just have, you know, in different boxes will have different kind of unique experiences.
So
in
kind of
that-
people
in
would
that
want to
way.
buy more to find out what's in the next thing, you know what I
At the
mean?
same
Kind
time,
of-
if that was 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
and we
I
could
know.
have some like examples of that now.
Well,
guilty.
we can look at this now, that's always food for thought for other times, but it's a good idea as well. I like the idea with the spoon because it is a bit messy, you do need a good spoon to...
Yeah, and the spoon could be another
Yeah,
thing, maybe
it's-
like a plastic, like, well, the cheapest one you could make would probably be a plastic one.
Yeah.
So you imagine like putting, like, obviously, if it's a yellow box, maybe a yellow spoon with it, it's something you could keep obviously for the next time, or you could use it at home, and obviously for the red box it could be a different spoon. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, I need to find out see how much it costs. I didn't do
All
that,
those
but I'm
things.
saying the cheapest one would be probably plastic, and different box could have a different spoon, or maybe could have like a little design on it, or even a word on the spoon, like saying like boom or something like that. It kind of just brings the value to the product.
I like this wood spoon.
You like this
I
spoon?
think the wood spoon is nice. It's something that you might keep.
Oh, the wooden one, yes.
Yeah. And you could laser write onto it the logo.
Oh yeah, you could put
And
it
then you've got brand recognition still in people's kitchens.
My mum's kept so many spoons.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you always need more wooden spoons
Yeah,
in
you
your
do,
kitchen.
don't you?
You do, you know, and it's part of Spanish cooking kind of culture. I'm wondering if you can have 4 in a row. You can have a
And a big
proper large spoon with a bit of leather, you know, string.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Get
It's
all the
Spanish
details
style, yeah.
in there.
bit of saucy salsa. That sounds very good as well.
You can dye wood, you know, you can stain it bright colours as well. So it still looks authentic and traditional, but it's got the kind of brand identity. It's quite a lot of exploring to do in the next week. We've
Yeah,
got
you've
to
got
cut
to
you
look
short
at
there, Igor, because we've got another
But
person
really
to
good as
go
well,
through.
fantastic as well. All of them have been fantastic quality. All of them.